The Zone Coverage Podcast Network. The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Lucanary Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Great cash, homie.
Starts now.
You guys ready to go?
I'm rolling.
Welcome back to another Zone Coverage Football Machine on the Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm your not selling host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine, and I have equity, more equity than Yinka Allende is going to make playing Kunle Allende in the movie Minnesota's first Pro Bowl Super Bowl winner, All-Pro guy.
Yeah, it's going to be the British Yinka Allende.
Use your microphone.
I think it's great.
Have you ever noticed that movie titles are super short and succinct? Book titles are extremely long.
No, I have not noticed that.
Yeah, because Kunle's movie is going to be like Kunle, Everyone's All-American. His book is going to be Kunle, my story about how I rose up from underneath the yoke of my two older terrible brothers and became an NFL superstar. Simon and Schuster.
Pretty sure that's just the subtitle.
Yeah,
It's a footnote.
like after the colon, it's extremely long on books. It's anything goes.
Andy reads the title and then he's like, wait, there's more words. Nah.
That's why books have jackets so they can continue on with the
You got
title.
some like mouthful movie titles, right? Like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Nah.
Best Picture winner, which didn't deserve it.
Or Crash, which was the worst Best Picture movie ever.
I got into an argument about that.
Which way?
Like just
Same
like
thing?
It's
Who
awful.
liked Crash? Wait, did you like Crash?
No.
I
I was agreeing.
Vincent Frank NFL. That's who I was arguing with.
What's it for? He's getting my clicks right now. Double dipping.
Yeah, he does have your clicks, doesn't he?
Vinny.
Uncle Vinny.
Come
Is that
on.
He hated when you call him Vinny, though.
Is
And I'm
that-
like, that's the only thing I want to call you.
Is that Vinny
Vinny
Testaverde? Is there like a...
It's secretly Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
49ers fan Vinny Testaverde.
Die hard.
He played for every team, didn't he?
Just about.
Once. Only once.
I love that the Jets were primed to make a Super Bowl run until Vinny Testaverde got hurt. Like, in what universe does that sentence make sense?
Who's going to throw to wing for bet?
Yeah, that's right. What was it? That wasn't too long. It was like 2007, 2006.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm looking this up.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
And there was a game where the
That's why they had to draft Sanchez. They were like, oh, we're only one piece away, but Vinny Testaverde's dead now.
That's right. Traded up, I think.
there was like 1 year where the third quarterback rule was really janky, where like Testaverde got hurt, Glenn Foley got hurt, and they had to play Tom Tupa until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Or
but
something.
they didn't change that rule because that's what happened with, or they changed it in a weird way because that's what happened with Cutler and Caleb Haney and the third guy, whoever that was, just the NFC Championship game against the Packers.
Bears legend Caleb Haney. Bring it on.
Vinny Testaverde facts.
Facts.
He played for
Is that
Tampa, Cleveland, and then he had this Baltimore, and then this stint with the Jets where he was 35 to 40 years old, right? Then goes to Dallas for a year, and then comes back to the Jets, and I'm assuming that's in 05. That may be the year you're thinking. 07 is the year he retired at 44 for the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers. That's not as many as Josh McCown.
Yeah. Still, Vinny's the man.
It's so weird that all right, we always go down this route, but it always goes back to the Browns. So Belichick, like kicking Cleveland legend Bernie Kosar out the door, is like,
He was right. He was right to do so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So that's cool.
So yeah,
hour one, we did the first 12 picks of our mock draft 3.0. We'll continue on. We got open phone lines. We got your Twitter questions as well, and we're cruising along. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's you tweet out the little phoners, and we'll continue on with the draft. And you know what? Like if a phone call comes in, I will let them make my pick because I'm agnostic or about no nihilists. Like nihilist Arby's. That's how I roll. Tom, bring back the trash music.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Say that a lot. Number 13, I am up, the Washington professional football team. Let's see here, just looking at the board.
They swap at quarterback.
Yeah.
They trade one of their better cornerbacks, though, too. So I don't know what you want to do there.
This could be the Josh Jackson moment.
I don't know. I mean,
Could be step it up, or just could be something stupid like reach on Maurice Hurst.
how about Ridley?
Screw it. It is Washington. All right, I'm gonna give him Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from Alabama, who's 95 years old.
And they're going to convert him to corner. Fantastic pick.
Or no, they'll Niles Paul him. They'll switch him to mini tight end. 14, Packers, Luke Duke.
I think they might have thought about Calvin Ridley here, actually, if he was still sitting on the board. But I think the addition of Muhammad Wilkerson with Kenny Clark and Mike Daniels, that's pretty dirty. As a Viking fan on this side, that's pretty dirty. But adding a guy behind them like Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech, I think that could do some serious damage, whether he replaces Nick Perry, Blake Martinez, Jake Ryan, any one of them, I think you could kind of swap in and out.
Yep.
So Clay Matthews is going to get some help. Tremaine Edmonds, with that front three that they built, that's a pretty damn good pick.
It's a great derogatory term, like insult, is Momo, except I don't know if it's like racial.
I've not heard that.
It's like, oh, shut up, you stupid Momo. Like, it just sounded funny. I think it's from.
It does sound racist.
It does.
when you say it
That
like
sounds
that.
great.
I think,
never heard
I think
that.
it's
Yeah.
from Goodfellas. I might be wrong.
I love that movie.
Just
something
feels-
wrong.
but doesn't it sound like it would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
a racist slur?
Yeah. Or at
Like
least
if you ask somebody what that meant, they'd be like, "It's supposed to be racist." You go, "Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that now."
Hey, caller, who we got? Caller.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Tosin. Hey, it's Tosin from Chicago.
Hey, what's up, Tosin?
Tosin.
Love you, man. What's going on in your
Hey,
mind?
what's going on, guys? So I just had a random question. So let's say the Cousins thing doesn't work out. What's the possibility of Zimmer getting fired?
What's the possibility of what?
Zimmer getting fired.
Oh, probably not super high, honestly.
This first year, probably not. Does it 2 years in a row? People say hot seat stuff.
Well, okay, so
3 years?
like, in what
Okay.
manner does Cousins not work out? Because
Right.
if he plays well, but the team doesn't do well, that would be probably on Zimmer. But if he doesn't play well, but the rest of the team plays well, maybe they go 8-8
Well,
3 years in a row or something.
I think it more indirectly
I don't know if that's on Zimmer.
affects Cousins affects Spielman, and then Spielman in turn affects Zimmer.
Yeah, I think they would get rid of Spielman before they got rid of Zimmer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Zimmer joked that if they don't get a quarterback, he's going to be fired. I kind of doubt it. They just promote George Payton up instead.
I'd say about a 15% chance. But again, depends on what kind of way he affects it, like Reef said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tosin, why do you hate Zimmer?
I love Zimmer. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
Can't believe
Get
it.
out of here,
Can't
kid.
believe
Get out of here. You better.
Yeah. Hey,
Get out of here. All right, man. Have a good one, y'all.
yeah.
All right, man.
See you,
Take care.
All right, Reef, you're up at the 15 spot with the Arizona Cardinals, who yet again missed out on quarterback. They just got leapfrogged again.
Yeah. Classic Cardinals. Steve Keim, not aggressive enough. So I think that they definitely need offensive line help. They need weapons, but Calvin Ridley's off the board. I'm not that interested in any of the other weapons that are available at this point. So in order to protect Sam Bradford, who sorely needs it, I'm going to get Connor Williams, who I know is
pick.
listed below two of these tackles here.
It's okay.
I think he's better than.
Well, it's
Right. I mean,
it's the order from
the
our
top
first mock
three.
draft.
Pick anyone
okay.
you want.
Yeah.
All right, so Connor Williams, welcome to Arizona. You're protecting who's Arizona's backup quarterback right now?
You could just figure out what the song was.
Wow.
Trashy.
Or did you see my tweet?
Is that what you meant when you said
Okay.
trashy? I'm just
Mike
curious.
Glennon.
Like, what did you have in your head?
Oh, it's Glennon.
It's Glennon.
Right, it's true, Dinka.
All right, Yanka, you're up at 16, Baltimore.
Baltimore needs.
You'll probably draft some D linemen.
From Alabama.
No.
Just picking Alabama.
I think the Ravens need so much help on both sides of the ball, and I think one of it's gonna. I think they need to start up front, and in their in the trenches and whatnot. So I'm gonna go Mike McGlinchey, Notre Dame.
Good pick.
Just
Love
to
him.
help that
Love
offensive line. I think Joe Flacco just needs some help. Obviously he needs some weapons, but I just think that he needs to get protected first and foremost. So
Building the trenches first,
Ooh,
Ben.
McGlinchey and Stanley,
Yeah,
the outside
Yeah.
Notre Dame. Bam. Caller, who we got?
Hey, Alex from Chicago.
Alex
What
from
up,
Chicago.
Alex?
What's up, man?
Hey, so I caught the last end of the first bit of the draft, and man, that Quentin Nelson to Chicago, that almost feels like Sharpie at this point, doesn't it?
There's a ton of
if he's there, I mean, he's
So
one of the top two players. I could see him going 6 to the Colts now that they traded back. To be honest, go ahead.
When we did this last week or 2 weeks ago or whenever we did it, I got a couple of comments from Bears fans that are just like, "That's never going to happen. It would be amazing. He's not going to fall that far." And I can kind of understand they don't want to get their hopes up too much. But, I could see a team possibly even trading up for Nelson. I think he's the best player in the draft. The only thing that's making him fall is positional value. And I could see, the Bucs could do it, right? Because they've got Sweezy at one guard position. They just signed a center. They can move Ali Marpet to guard, but they don't have that other guard figured out. So I could see the Bucs doing it if Barkley's not available.
He's that good. Any team could justify taking Quentin Nelson.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Honestly.
I think the Colts at 6 is realistic. But yeah, and the thing is, too, I don't think anybody would trade up just because if somebody trades up, that means somebody's going to fall to the Bucs. Just for, let's say the Bucs or the Bears, like a Minka or a Chubb or a Barkley, whatever it may be, or a quarterback that you can trade out of and get picks. But I think more to your point,
makes a ton of sense.
I think more to your point, Alex, some stud, if you do the math and sit there and write out all the scenarios, is going to fall to Chicago, whether it's Nelson or Roquan Smith. You can have the option of taking Roquan Smith there, Denzel Ward. I mean, they're going to get somebody really good. It bums me out.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Alex. All right.
One more caller.
All right. Caller, who we got? It puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Arresta gets the hose again. Caller, who we got?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
Steve.
Steve, you sound sullen. Like Sully Sullenberger. Chesley. Weird first name.
All right. How much?
I guess we got my...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to play this game today.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. I don't have time for this. I'm too important. No. You got my boy Yankee on there. I guess he listened to me this week. I told him he had to get back on the show again here recently.
Yeah. Is that why you did it, Yankee?
That's exactly why I did it. Steve said it, and I'm like, holy
there
crap, I need to make
he made a strong push.
Some money moves, right?
You didn't leave right away. But
So, did you guys cradle him when his boy Jarius Wright got released the other day? I know you cried a lot, Yankee. Okay, well, we'll get through it together, bud.
Yeah. We poured one out. Yep, we had a moment. Yep.
No, good. It was Cradle to the Grave. You know that DMX movie with Steven Seagal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't Aaliyah?
Yeah.
No, sorry, it was Jet Li and DMX.
Isn't Aaliyah in that one?
Did you light a candle for him, too, there, and pray for him? Anyway.
She is.
So, we're like 5 weeks to the draft now, Luke. We're getting there, aren't we?
5 weeks, dude. It's going to happen. It's coming up quick, man. It's coming up quick. What do you think? You still trying to trade up for Quentin Nelson?
I'd love to, but I don't think that's going to happen. But well, yeah, and we got Richardson too. I was happy to see that. We had the two biggest free agent signings. I'll take it. So I'm on board now, and I'm off the ledge for Kirk Cousins, but he seems like a nice dude. So I guess let's roll, right? So that's all we can do at that point.
What a backhanded compliment. Seems like a nice dude.
Yeah.
I hope it works out.
Goofy individual.
No,
he's so goofy.
I'm on board, like you, Reef. I wouldn't give him all that money, but hey, not my money, So,
but
we'll
Steve,
see.
that is the cost of a starting quarterback.
Well, Luke, I got a question for you. There's two guys I like that sounds like they're coming on the top 30 visits. So I want to know about a little more about. I think it's Dante Pettis, the receiver from Washington, and Justin, Justin Reed, the safety from Stanford.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about Reed, the safety from Stanford. I've watched more of Quentin Meeks, who we really liked. Quentin Meeks, the cornerback. Again, another strong cornerback
related
class.
to Eric Reed, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, correct. Dante Pettis.
Brother.
All I can tell you is Dante Pettis, I haven't done a deep dive, but last year whenever I watched John Ross from Washington, Dante Pettis jumped off the tape and was like, who is this other guy that and I think he could have came out last year, but he didn't. But who is this other guy? And Dante Pettis was making plays. John Ross blew up because of the 4.22 240. Obviously, he could take the top off a defense. Didn't do anything his rookie year. To get Pettis, though, a guy probably 3 to 4 rounds later, I really like the value of Dante Pettis. We'll see where he goes. Yeah. I think he'd make a great Jarius Wright type of replacement, take another shot in the 4th round if he's there.
Yeah, and probably better at those contested catches.
Probably.
Than Wright. No offense, Yinka. I don't want to bang right too much.
Man, we sit right next to each other, man. That is short shank distance, bro.
Oh my God, he's got a knife.
But I do want to watch a lot more of Justin Reed. Everybody I've heard talk about him says that he deserves a lot more credit than he gets, and that he could even float into first-round territory. Like, there are people who are really high on Justin Reed. So
I've been hearing all that on him.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I don't know if the Vikings are willing to invest a first-round pick at basically improving from the above-average performance they got from Andrews and Deo to a really great potential performance from Justin Reed, especially, when they've got they need that offensive line help. But, you always have to do your due diligence. Maybe he doesn't go, at the top of the second, bottom of the first. If he's there in the second, they may consider it, or they may trade back out of the first, grab an offensive lineman in the second, and then use their other second for Justin Reed and get help in the third.
Right.
That's what I would do right now. If honestly if you think about it more and more, I think they trade back this year because you fill your two biggest needs in quarterback and 3 tech. You need some O-line, but I'm pretty sure Price is going to drop a couple of spots now with his pec. He's got his pro day tomorrow, but I think you could drop back 5 or 6 spots, still get him, and get an extra couple of picks out of it too, probably. So
that's an option, man. I would love to too. The thing with trading down though is first you need a trade partner, and second it's got to be worthy too. I mean, I'm all for trading 5 to 10 spots down, but if I'm only going to get a 6th-round pick or a 5th-round pick, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe just go get you guys. So you gotta in Spielman. I mean, I trust Spielman in that facet and area, but yeah, you got to make sure that it's worth it too. So I'm all for trading down. You scoop up an extra 4th. You're talking about Jarius Wright, drafting in the 4th round. He's good with those 4th-round picks, man.
Yeah, we need one back after we gave up for Sam Bradford. Look how that one turned out.
I know it.
Anyway, so I got a hot take for you. I'm willing to bet Caleb Jones has more receiving yards and touchdowns here than Laquan Treadwell. I know it's a hot take, I know, right? But that's my hot take for the year. I like Caleb Jones. That wide receiver re-roll here. I do. I like him.
So 1 touchdown and 16
I like
yards?
him. I don't think Treadwell's going to do anything. I just don't see him doing anything. I think he's,
In a glorious, meaningless Week 17 game against the Packers, as the Vikings have the 1 seed locked up, Caleb Jones just gets free in the corner of the end zone, racking up 1 to outdo Laquan Treadwell's. You can't divide by 0, but whatever. Yeah.
So he's in.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man.
Well, did you guys see that thing pop up on Twitter about his brother last night, and he saved his brother's life apparently in that hotel? Did you hear about that?
Everybody heard about it. The whole world heard, except Tom.
Yeah, everyone knew. Everyone knew.
Tom didn't know. We talked about it off air. Yeah, it's wild.
If you watch the video in reverse, Caleb's the bad guy.
All right. Last quick question. Give me in that 2 to 4 range, give me a couple of gems you might like in the later rounds here for the Vikings. Maybe we're not hearing so much about. Give me 1 or 2 guys.
Reef?
Open question to anybody.
Well, I'm kind of interested if you want to get a backup guard. I'm kind of interested in Skylar Phillips. I want to see where Nathan Shepard goes. It sounds like he'll be the top of the second, so might not be a later round guy.
Yeah.
A guy we don't have on our top 40 consensus board, but Austin Corbett from Nevada, getting a lot of love from a lot of people. A guy who could play any.
Reed loves him. Yeah.
Any one of 5 positions. So a lot of people love him. So yeah, he could be really good.
Yeah.
Bam.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Sounds good.
Next caller.
Hey, caller, who we got?
I think he just joined.
Hi, this is Wes from Marshall.
Wes from Marshall.
Hey, Wes from Marshall.
What's up, man?
Hey, not too much. Just calling in.
Cool. What's on your mind?
I had a question. I was just thinking about the concerns that are left on the roster at this point. And I was wondering, which is more concerning, Remmers at guard with no other viable options added, or not addressing the slot cornerback position, including not bringing back Terrence Newman?
I personally feel like it's kind of that guard position. I think that the Vikings are kind of hoping that Joe Berger comes back so they can keep a guy like, so they would be able to keep a guy like Mike Remmers at right tackle. But I just think at this point that you have to just assume that Joe Berger is not going to be back, and you need to address the right guard position as quick as you can, whether that be via draft or, maybe you can bring in another guy. I don't know how they feel as far as, God, his name is escaping me.
Nick Easton?
That guy.
No, the right guard.
Isadora?
Isadora, Danny Isadora. As far as maybe him being a potential option for the future if you wanted to get him some more reps. I think this offseason, I think, is going to really show how much they actually really like Isadora, or if he's just going to be a guy who's just going to potentially be depth. So I want them to somewhat address it more so.
I kind of echo those concerns because I'm not worried about Remmers himself playing guard. I'm more worried about what happens at tackle if you play him at guard, because he seems fine at guard. The issue is, are you going to have Rashad Hill there? Are you going to have, a draft pick, maybe a third-round pick or something like that play there? Who knows? That bothers me maybe a little bit more, but neither of them are so alarming to me that I'm genuinely worried. The cornerback spot, I don't really know how that's going to play out. Alexander, obviously, right now is a liability. We have to remember that Trey Waynes was basically at the same point at this point in his career, and then turned it around in the back half of the season to turn into what looks like a pretty good corner. And Alexander could be kind of on the same trajectory. I mean, the reason that he kind of fell out of the first round, a lot of it had to do with his size. But I thought he put together a lot of really good college tape that Waynes didn't necessarily do it. He's more of a tools guy. And so I think he's got a lot there that can be kind of exploited. We'll see.
What if Mac's twin brother just swapped out and we didn't know?
That would be extremely sad.
Because his brother was bad.
Yeah.
I think you know.
But I think that you can find talent kind of in the middle or later of the draft or in the second wave of free agency that can get you to an acceptable level at nickel corner, whereas I don't think that's really true at right tackle. So I kind of want that resolved a little bit beforehand in the first place.
Yeah, I think if you mention Newman being gone, that worries the heck out of me, because once Newman's gone, again, Alexander, like Arif already said, a liability, a lot more pressure on him, and behind him, that's it. It's Marcus Sherrills and Jack Tocho, who, hey, for a 7th-round pick, I actually like Jack Tocho. We'll see what happens, but, if Newman's gone, again, too much pressure for me on Mac Alexander, and then, again, Marcus Sherrills, asking him to cover some of these NFL receivers. So I think sitting there at pick 30, if for some reason Newman does leave and you think he's not going to be with you next year, there's going to be at least one or two really good corners that fall into your lap at 30, whether it's Isaiah Oliver from Colorado, Mike Hughes from UCF. There's tons of them. The kid from Iowa, kid from Louisville. Who knows? So I think if you're going BPA, there might be a really good corner you could take right there. Mike Remmers, I think I'm fine with Mike Remmers.
Yep. Hey, thanks for calling in, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your answers.
Yep, see you, Wes.
I still think as far as if he were to address the nickel position in some kind of way, I would love to see a camp battle between Mac Alexander and Trey Waynes on the outside.
And then
I want to see Mac on the outside.
Aton Exum
so
just comes in
bad.
with a chair out of nowhere.
What is Aton Exum doing right now?
He's a free agent, isn't he?
I know.
Here you go.
Hitting on ladies. Oh, back to the Twins thing. You can't tell me that for one game, Marcus and Markieff Morris at Kansas, or I think they played with the Suns together, didn't just swap jerseys for one night.
I think a reporter asked him about it when he was at the
Francisco.
Suns, or when they were at the Suns, and I think they mentioned that they might have done it.
They've definitely done it.
I'm sure they had to leave it a little ambiguous because I'm sure it's a fine or something.
Right. Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't think they did it in the NBA.
Oh.
But I think they implied that they did it at Kansas. Who knows?
It's the only thing wrong with NCAA sports, really.
It's the jersey
That's
swap.
it.
Yeah, that's the only corruption.
There's
I've
nothing
heard.
else wrong.
I know.
Wow. Back to the draft. The Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego are up at 17. I am up. What do they need? I feel like they need help at lots of places. Not cornerback, though. I feel like they're locked
getting
up there.
both guards back. They've got great edge rushers. They've got good cornerbacks. I suppose they could use a safety. They definitely could use a linebacker. I don't know. Maybe get somebody opposite Keenan Allen / someone to replace.
They're a
Keenan
weird
Allen
team.
when he gets hurt.
They don't really have a lot of obvious glaring needs, but they could use improvements at nearly every position.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little linebacker, actually. I'm going to go Rashaan Evans, Bama. Show up.
Solid.
What's up?
Little higher than I've seen him. Think he's worthy of a top 20 pick, though, actually.
Bam, kabam.
Really good.
18 Seahawks. Luke, you're up.
Yeah, Darius Geis is really enticing right here. I think it just fits what they want to get back to. But I think I'm actually going to go BPA and Vitavia, nose tackle from Washington.
Just slide out. Doesn't he have to move?
I don't know what's going on with Malik McDowell. I know they're a little bit different positions. They also got rid of Bennett. I just think depth-wise, they could use this guy. And talking about what they want to get back to, physical defense, Vitavia is that guy.
Keep on using him till
they could go corner. They could go Darius Geis. They could go a lot of different
Seattle's
positions.
defense is going to be bad next year, and I'm excited.
It's going to be weird that'll be that
pumped.
bad.
I'm pumped. 19, Arif, the Dallas Cowboys.
This is tough because they've, the positions that I kind of want to help them out at, they've got young talent that maybe they believe in or that they want to develop.
Young talent, great rapper. Sorry, go ahead.
But, I suppose they could go at linebacker. I don't think there's any more value picks left at linebacker for them to be able to pursue it. Maybe they could stock back up on receiver, get some actual, receiving help, and maybe eventually shed the Des Bryant contract. But it's tough because, I don't really like those receivers either. I think they like they do like their defensive line. They franchised DeMarcus Lawrence. I think they bringing back David Irving.
I think so. Actually, yeah, Vitavia actually is the guy they should probably be praying for because then they can move Malik Collins back to his 3-tech where he looked really good his rookie year. Struggle at the 1-tech, though.
Yeah,
so I kind of swiped him right there.
Intuitively, I would wanted to have given them a corner, right? But they have, 3 defensive backs from the 2017 draft starting for them. So
some really good defensive backs there.
Maybe they could look for a long-term answer to Jason Witten.
I think Ridley and Vitavia are the two that they really look long and hard at. After that, it's I don't know. Maybe
we should trade down. Who do we have that wants to trade up? I mean, somebody who is coveting Harold Landry or Jair Alexander. Does anyone want them?
Did all 5 quarterbacks go? 1, 2, 3, 5. Yep.
Yeah.
You took Lamar? Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Mason Rudolph, come on down.
Once you get rid of those 5 quarterbacks, I don't know who teams are trading up for anymore at that point. I don't know.
I mean, I think they would trade up for Harold Landry or Jair Alexander. I think that's it, though. I think that's all you trade up for. And I don't know who would be interested in that. The Colts could. They could use that second Bills pick they could to trade up with the Cowboys and grab Harold Landry. I think that makes a ton of sense.
I think there's too many good guys for them to start using some of those extra picks. I see what you're saying, though.
Right.
Yes.
Well, then
I'm saying no.
Dallas picks Dallas. Let's go with Goddard.
I like it.
Damn it.
I like that.
Damn it.
I like that.
Damn it.
I like that.
Everything sucks. Caller, who we got?
Oh, we got Matt from Springfield.
Matt from Springfield. What's going on, man?
Not much. So something I've been thinking about recently is kind of how, Danielle Hunter, his stats, kind of dipped off this year, at least in terms of sacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think on the Vikings defense, kind of the way we play, specifically on first and second down run defense, do you think there's kind of a ceiling for our edge rushers to hit sacks total, combined? Because if you think about it, right, last year Hunter had 12.5 and Griffin had 8. And then this year Griffin has 13 and Hunter has 7 or something like that. So with the way we play, do you think there's kind of just a ceiling there that they're not going to get more than that?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I think we saw that with both Dunlap and Michael Johnson back when Zimmer had them with the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think I mentioned this, that one of the reasons that for a while they only pursued defensive ends that were 265 pounds or heavier is because they wanted them to prioritize run defense. I think gotten less true over time, though. And one of the ways you can take a look at that is that Danielle Hunter, who is an excellent run defender in college, was around 250 pounds when they drafted him. I think that there's something there to that, but I do think that they're a little bit more pass rush happy than Zimmer's been in the past. I think there was an issue with Hunter potentially finishing off because he got a lot of pressures.
He did get a lot of pressures.
Yeah, because Griffin had 61 and Hunter had 59.
Mm-hmm.
It was very close. And so one of those things was finishing those sacks. The same problem that Brian Robinson had for most of his career, had a lot of pressures, not a ton of sacks. So I think some of that has to do with, they'll read, the opposing tackle and wash out against a run or sell out against the run a little bit early on, and that's going to restrict their total sacks. I do think that there was opportunity there to have more sacks. But I think that the ceiling there is a lot higher than those old like Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions, and even further back Tennessee Titans wide 9 defenses, where there was just a ton of pass rush. I do think that the ceiling there is a little bit lower than a place like those old the Jim Schwartz defenses. So yeah, I would say it's there, but I don't want to overstate it because I do think that there was some stuff that Hunter could have done better in order to finish, in order to get those sacks. I will also say that 3 techniques have thrived under Zimmer, where interior pressure has been really huge. So that's part of it too.
I think he's been forced, because he hasn't had that 3-tech, that interior pressure 3-tech, to try to get a 5th man involved quite a bit on pass rush. That's why I think you see some more pressures and stealing a few sacks of those stats from Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, guys like that too. So I think once he gets Sheldon in the mix, you could see a lot more just straight front 4 pressure sacks and defensive line sacks. So we'll see. I think Hunter will be fine. I think he's going to bounce back great. Mentioned great run defense. One of the better run defenders, not just on the Vikings, but actually in the league at defensive end. So very promising stuff.
So have you guys talked about Sheldon at all? Because I'm stoked about that. I think everybody is. But
how hyped is that, man?
That's just incredible. Like, I don't know.
No, it's going to be great. We mentioned it on. We just recorded a small video, the Football Machine Minute, I think is what Andy's calling it, that we just posted to Twitter where we talked.
That's not what I'm calling. That's what it is, Arif.
Yeah, sure. Where we just posted it to Twitter. We're very excited. I think it's going to be really great, and I think that Richardson has had a lot of points in his career where he's been kind of restricted by the scheme in order to attack, and he's still been able to put up really great tackle for loss numbers, really great sack numbers. This is the analogy I made. When the Cardinals switched from a 2-gap 3-4 to a 1-gap 3-4, Calais Campbell blew up because he was able to finally attack. And then, of course, he goes to Jacksonville, does a really great job there, too. And I think we may be able to see a little bit of that with Richardson, which is not to say, he did play a 1-tech or a 3-tech position with Seattle. He was able to attack there. But I think with the right kind of environment that the Vikings have defensively and his ability to attack, I think he's really going to be able to move upfield. I think it's a great hire.
Bam. Matt, appreciate your call, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, 20, you're up, Yanko. You got the Lions.
Yeah, I've actually been pondering this for quite a bit. I've gone through a few people. Obviously, Lions need help defensively. They need help on the offensive line. I think they really need a center. But at the same time, you have guys like, Vita Villa. Is that how you say the name?
Nobody knows, dude.
Okay. That definitely could help it. But I'm actually, I saw this guy, and I'm just like, I think this would be perfect for the Lions, given that the fact that right now they have, obviously they have the stud in Ziggy Ansah starting on one side, but they have Anthony Zettel on the other side. I think you could get a Harold Landry on that other side, and that would kind of make that both those edges really kind of collapse a little bit more so. So I'm going to go Harold Landry.
For sure. Great pick. 2016 tape, outstanding. Yep. Top 10 pick.
Gross, 21 million. Bengals, Jair Alexander, boom, lock it.
Boom, easy.
Yeah. The
him and William Jackson.
Yeah. So
That'll be good.
Vita Villa sounds like something that like your Facebook friends would invite you to. Like we're having a Vita Villa party. Come on down. Let's order it up. It's not Herbalife.
Come on down,
Villa. 22, Luke Duke, you're up. Colts.
Isaiah Wynn, we get with the trade back. We get Derwin James and Isaiah Wynn. Help the offensive line, help the safeties. Pair him with Malik Hooker.
We got like 9 second-round picks.
Yep, we got a bunch of second-round picks. We got a bunch of ammo. And remember, we drafted Ryan Kelly from Arkansas the year before. What was that, 2 years ago, the Treadwell draft? He's going to end up being really good, too.
Yep. 23, Rams, Arfart, you're up.
So this is interesting. So they've got really good defensive line shaping up. Maybe they get to. They'll have a really historically great defensive line. They've got fantastic secondary pieces. If there was a linebacker here that I really loved, that's probably where I would go because it would really round out that defense and make them like competitive with the Eagles and the Vikings defenses. As it stands, I don't know if there's any linebacker that I'm that into. I mean, a lot of people might pick Leighton Vander Esch here. I think he's got some issues kind of with instincts and diagnosing plays. He's kind of
people love Leighton Vander Esch, but nobody's willing to like take him in the top 25. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Like,
They'll talk
I love him. His instincts are Luke Kuechly, All right.
I have him going number 32. Right. Yeah, so, I can't pull the trigger on him, and he's probably the next best linebacker here that's left. So I'm probably going to have to go on the offense.
Have Darius Geis play fullback.
And I think I'm going to have to go with a weapon of some sort. Long term, they can use an offensive lineman. Whitworth's old, Sullivan's old, and they just re-signed him. I suppose they could get a right tackle. Actually, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm kind of convincing myself that this is a good idea.
That. Protect Jared Goff a little bit more. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's go with what are the tackles that are left? I just don't like
Brian O'Neill.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that. I was like, well, there's not really.
Well, yeah,
Orlando Brown, I guess. Who's going to take a shot on him? I would think actually Dallas Goedert would actually be really fun for them.
There you go.
But he's already gone. So Mike Gesicki too high for that. Cortland Sutton. I love James Washington more than most people. Anthony Miller's your guy if you want to go get your man. It's up to you. Marcus Davenport if you want to add a little rush.
I think
they
there's going to be
somebody.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I think. Let's go with Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton, come on down. You will be wearing what should be yellow and blue, but yeah, whatever.
It should be.
24 Panthers.
That's
Inca,
New Century Gold.
I'm not going to take too long on this one. I actually care about Cam Newton, even though I feel like North Turner doesn't care about Cam Newton.
Protect him, man.
But I got to protect him, and we know who's on that left side over there. So I'm going to go with Orlando Brown, bring him some help.
Like
Brown.
He just
that'll be good.
They just need help on that offensive line, and I think Cam just needs a little bit more time than he had.
They're actually, with that pick, if he ends up panning out, they could be really good because who was the hold on just a second. Keep going.
If.
Can't find him.
Taylor
It always shows
Western
up right
Michigan.
Taylor Moton.
Taylor Moton. Thank you, Andy, coming in.
They should start Taylor Moton.
Yeah, Taylor Moton will be good.
Williams, honestly.
Yeah, Darrell Williams, whatever. Trey Turner's fine.
Try the boat. 25 me, Titans, easy pick. Going Mike Gesicki, Penn State, come on down. Delaney Walker can't play forever. Give Mariota a little bit of help.
Falcons hate you.
And the outside. Good.
Yeah, Falcons
Suck it. You
needed
should hold on to Levine to 26. Falcons, Luke.
Falcons. What are the Falcons? I struggle with this pick when I'm
They need
mocking
more
them.
fast athletes in the defensive linebacker.
How about Maurice Hurst?
Dirty.
They've got Grady Jarrett, though.
Yeah, they just lost Poe.
They don't play the same position
Well, what do you
at all.
What do you want me to do? Deron Payne?
I could see Deron Payne playing the one. That makes
Let's
sense.
do Deron Payne.
Deron Payne, Dirty Birds, kicking the
Deron
trees. 27, Saints, Arif.
Oh, this is interesting.
Take another running back since you're the running backs coach.
Right. They could use someone next to Rankins that's not Tyler Davison. But
So they have not signed Sue.
no, they've not. And they could, but I think the Rams let's just say for purposes of this that the Rams did. They got Patrick Robinson back, which is hilarious. No, they need linebackers. Let's put Leighton Vander Esch here. I know I was like, I don't want to draft him at 23. Let's do it at 27.
27, though.
Yeah.
Basically a third-round pick.
I'm just running out of line. They really need one.
No, they do. Good pick.
Yeah, that guy. 28, Steelers, Yanko. What you doing?
I think part of the reason.
Yanko never really has his microphone.
No, never does. Because this side, it's starting to hurt. I should have just switched to the other side. But I think one of the things that actually needs to be addressed, and I actually tweeted this out a while ago, is like I just don't see a reason why Ryan Shazier should come back and play football. I mean, that injury was extensive. I mean, you don't want to risk.
Who's going to tell him that, though?
Exactly, right? He's going to want to work back, right? So I'm going to take a linebacker, Rashaan Evans. I think.
No, he's already been taken.
Oh, he has already been taken?
Yeah, otherwise I would have taken him for the Rams, man.
Okay.
Dude, then I'll go. GGIG.
Then I'll go. I know, right?
Even if he's someone else's.
Right.
That's not your guy. Go get your guy.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of high. It's going to be kind of high. Then I'll go with Lorenzo Carter. I think that's another. I think that'll be a guy that
Love
he can
Carter.
replace.
A little high.
Little high. I think he's a little high, but it's
over Davenport.
Yeah,
huh?
a lot of potential there. I think with Lorenzo Carter.
I mean, neither of us are in love with Davenport.
I'm not, but I haven't seen Carter that high, and I know Davenport will probably be gone by now.
All right, Lorenzo, come on up. Tom, 29, Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is risky. It's a Jaguars pick.
Take quarterback.
quarterback.
Go get your guy, Tom.
You got to get someone for Bortles. Is that the play here?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean they lost Allen.
They re-signed Marquise Lee. I don't know. What do you?
What do we think about Anthony Miller?
Like him?
I like him a lot.
At Memphis, we're taking him.
Punch him. Done.
Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller, come on down.
Tom getting these guys.
Speaking of which, 3
Did
picks left.
Calipari
All
recruit
right,
him?
we
Is
could
that-
go Billy
Yes.
Price or Isaiah Wynn. I want to go Isaiah Wynn.
I
think he's
definitely
the
wanna
best.
go
Wait, I
Isaiah
picked
Wynn.
Isaiah Wynn. with the
Isaiah
Colts
Wynn's off
pick.
board.
Yeah.
What you did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
That's why I was.
I would
upset.
love to get him.
Too high.
30 Vikings, all of us.
Billy Price.
Billy Price has
Billy
to be the
Price.
pick.
You don't feel like that's too high?
Are we just boring?
Nah, it's fine.
How about Josh Jackson in case Mac doesn't pan out or Newman retires?
Billy Price.
What I know about Kirk Cousins is I want an offensive lineman.
Let's do it.
So
William
let's go Billy
Price. Torn Titty
Billy
Committee,
Price
come on
is
down.
is the pick in every Viking mock.
So then we
draft.
can.
That's
So
true.
then we can say
Every
when
mock.
Pat Elflein's contract negotiations come up that he's a package deal with Billy Price because that's what we're doing apparently with Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks.
Oh yeah.
31 Patriots, Luke Duke, you're up.
Jair.
31 Patriots. Jair's gone.
What he is? Where'd he go?
Didn't you take
Bengals.
Jair? Yeah, Bengals. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, you took him super quick.
Marcus
Yeah,
Davenport, Chandler Jones 2.0. Let's go.
Well, you weren't going to give him Maurice Hurst?
No.
All right.
All right, Arif.
We
Eagles,
could have taken
32.
Maurice Hurst, but,
Yeah,
Sheldon.
What do the Eagles need? Ugh.
Darius Geis.
Nothing.
Actually, yeah. Let's give him Darius Geis.
Darius
My
Geis, come
God.
on
So
down.
Maurice Hurst did not go in the first round.
That makes sense.
Gross.
Neither did Taven Bryan. You still
Yeah,
got
but Hurst
Nathan
is-
Shepard hanging out.
Yeah,
No, I
Josh
know.
Shepard. Yeah,
But
Josh
Jackson
Jackson.
still
I'm
chilling?
telling you, a cornerback like Jackson or somebody is going to fall in the lap of the Vikings. It might be too tough for Zimmer to pass up on him. Think about that. I'm planting some seeds.
You guys don't like Arden Key?
Too many questions.
Too
I don't
question
know.
marks?
If I was in the interview process, maybe I could tell you a little
if
bit more about
he
him.
They didn't
was,
let you in.
if he had lived up to in terms of his on-field
be
play to
unbelievable.
his preseason hype and a lot of what he did, I think 2 years ago, he'd be interesting. But there's a ton of questions you still have to answer
Yeah.
that would still make you question whether or not he should go in the first round. And now that he had this huge dip in performance, it's difficult for me. I could see him definitely going in the second round.
All right, gents, let's hammer out these Twitter questions. That was fun.
That was fun.
We
Good
should-
time.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
It was. I
need
like
smoke.
I like spreading it out over the 2 hours because then we could take
I
time
like that
on the
much
picks.
more.
Yeah.
I
And
like
it's
that
a bit
much
like,
better.
yeah, even though Reef doesn't listen to me taking
Yeah.
Jared Alexander was like, Jared Alexander.
Win and
Next.
Also,
Sorry.
our fans can follow along with the live doc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's good
cool.
times. From
Fans.
at Kyle Wilkin TDB, they're paid protesters. I think tight end might be a sneaky early round need. 82 makes a ton, and a move tight end is needed by 8 and flip.
Yeah, if by early they mean not in the first round, yeah, I could totally see that.
How's drafting athletic tight end worked out recently? Arfart.
I still don't get why,
He blocked everyone but you.
but me,
But you.
but me.
Oh, you're blocked?
No, I'm not blocked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I stayed far away from that threat.
But yeah. I also, that was like not a shot at Rudolph. It was a shot at the pick, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could see it in the third round, maybe the second, especially if they trade back and get a little
Gesicki.
bit more ammo.
Yeah, maybe around
For
that.
Gesicki.
Maybe Gesicki. I wouldn't be surprised if Gesicki and Goddard are gone, and they'd have to decide between people like Hayden Hurst, who I think is probably too old for them,
I don't.
or Mark Andrews, who people have been talking about a little bit.
I think they'll
as
take a
second
shot
rounder,
in
that'd be
like that
interesting.
Michael Pruitt. Remember that kind of draft
Yeah.
slot and David Morgan.
So
I
like
think
in
they're
the-
going to
still
take
believe
another
in the
shot.
fourth, fifth.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think they're going to use a day two pick. I just don't. I think there's too many needs right now. But yeah, I wouldn't be that shocked.
Next up is at Damian Barrett. Not a draft question, just a newbie query. What's the correct jersey etiquette for players no longer with the Vikings? Looks like I'm moving to New Jersey this summer, so my first Vikings game in person will be against the Jets. Wear Teddy jersey, yes or no?
You shouldn't
wear a
really ask
Teddy
Wilf
jersey.
about jersey etiquette. I mean, super rude to his other developers in Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I
be
think
here
wearing
on that.
I
Tip
think
your
wearing the
waitress.
Teddy
Thank you.
Bridgewater jersey to the game is fine.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Especially since Teddy will be on the Ravens by then.
Yeah, I think
It's not like they're
purple. You
anywhere
already set up.
close. They're different conferences altogether. It's not like
Yeah.
they're rivals or anything. Of course, you support
Yeah.
Teddy.
I think
would.
it's like
I'd rock
Oh, yeah,
one.
for sure.
I think it's like
shot of vodka.
maybe weird if it's like a player that didn't have a great chance to make the roster, or is a player who's got drummed out for like embarrassing or like gross off the field issues. But Teddy's a first round pick. People love him. I think it makes sense.
I might have a Plaxico Burress jersey somewhere.
I got a Cordell Stewart jersey somewhere.
Which is it a Jets Burress or a Giants? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I wear it with sweatpants.
Perfect.
Oh, we got a caller.
Hey, caller, who we got?
This computer's being slow.
Caller, who we got?
He'll be there in a sec. He's here, I think.
Hey, caller, who we got?
Listen here, man.
Wow.
Oh, go get your guys. Go get your guys.com.
GGYG, dude.
GGYG.
Listen here, man. What's going on, guys?
We're trying to start the Derwin James fan club over here. Are you in or are you out?
Oh my goodness!
He loves Derwin James.
You say Derwin James?
Yeah. How bad did you want Honey Badger?
Honestly, I would have taken Honey Badger and frickin' Sheldon and Teddy, dude, and I'd be good. And I'd be good.
Kirk,
now, don't get that wrong. Don't get that mixed up, because I am freaking excited for Kirk Cousins, dude. I've watched all the video. I've cut up the tape. Let's go. Let's go. You like that? You like that?
You like that?
You like that? Let's go. No, seriously, Inman, dude. I'm gonna call you out right now. I don't know if you guys have been talking. I've been MIA, dude. I've been MIA.
You have.
I've been MIA since the Eagles game, and I finally figured it out, and I'm over it.
He's
all right.
back.
But like 5 years ago, I'm in Inman's kitchen. All right.
While he was
with
sleeping.
a guy by the name of Tom Compton.
I remember this. I told you Tom Compton was in
South
my
Dakota
kitchen
State.
once.
Tom Compton.
I told you guys this.
Pride of Rosemount.
Graduated from Rosemount.
This is a true story now.
Okay.
Yep.
True story. Inman's kitchen after a night at Babes. All right. And
he knows Babes.
Tom
I told you the
Compton
legends
comes
of
over,
Babes.
and we're picking his brains. We're rubes. We're
first
rubes.
year in
We're picking his
Washington.
brains. Dude, he's a freaking NFL player. NFL training camp, Washington Redskins. RG3. Oh, right? So we're picking his brains about RG3 and Kirk Cousins. Tom Compton 5 years ago told us when Kirk Cousins is eligible to leave, he is going to sign with the Vikings. That's where he wants to go. 5 years ago.
True story.
Not even kidding. Some random dude tweeted me about it. Some random dude tweeted me about it.
We need to find this guy.
A true story. True story. Some guy goes, "Hey, Jerry, remember when you were telling me about Tom Compton saying Kirk Cousins was going to sign with the Vikings when he becomes a free agent? Looks like that's about to come true, dude. Seriously, he's a Midwestern boy. The Vikes are his team. He wants to be here. Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Let's go, dude. I don't know about you guys, but I'm freaking jacked. I'm jacked, man. I am jacked, dude. He prepares. We don't have to worry about off field and anything. Like, let's go. And everyone sits there. Oh, you guys, the Vikes gave him $84 million. He's won one freaking playoff game. How many playoff games has Jimmy Garoppolo won? I don't see anyone saying anything about the San Francisco 49ers giving him $27 million a year. How many playoff games has Derek Carr won? And what contract did he sign not too long ago? Let's frickin' go. We got a guy who was on a weak-ass team with weak-ass players putting up legit numbers. And you want to say garbage time? 11 fourth-quarter comeback wins in the last 3 years? Put that up against all the other guys in the NFL and tell me where that stands.
Well, they're down most of the time because he was ineffective the first 3 quarters.
Well, whatever, dude. Their defense is weak ass, and they don't. Let's go, Vikes. Hey, you know what, Andy? I want to say something, man. I do want to say something. I want to call you out.
Tell him.
I want to call you out.
Hold on, Jerry. Wait, like 2 minutes ago, you were like, I'd rather have Sheldon, Honey Badger, and Teddy.
No. Tell
right?
him. Tell
I'd
him.
be cool with that. But I want to call you out on something, though. Actually, it's not really calling you out on something. It's just letting you know that Jerry is watching from afar, and you're an inspiration, man.
Hey.
So my background is in fitness, all right?
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, I was a freaking tank. Dude, seriously, I can talk about glory days. I was a tank.
Where is this going?
Don't worry, just let it happen.
Okay,
Go.
yep.
All right, and I have a hard time with like my family life and work life and juggling, like getting to the gym now. Now that I'm not working in the gym 24/7, I have a hard time getting to the gym 24/7. And I always say to myself, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I need to get up in the morning and I need to do it, dude. Your snaps, like what you're doing, like let's go, dude. Because I talk about it, but I don't be about it. You're being about it, dude. And I find inspiration in that. And I just want to let you know that keep it coming, keep it going, dude, because literally, like, I'm being real. Like, that's awesome, dude. 4:30 in the morning, boom. Gym at 5 a.m., boom, dude. Like, I want to do it. I just need to do it. I haven't done it, and I need to do it. And keep doing what you're doing, dude, because you're inspiring me, and I'm going to get off my ass, and I'm going to do it.
Let's go. Go
I
get
love
your
that, Jerry.
guys,
Let's
man.
go.
04 state
Bring
champs.
the tank back.
Jerry's being humble. He was more than a
tank
tank,
back.
okay? You put him in the regional combine, he would get an invite from one of the
I'm telling you
32
right now,
teams,
back
dude.
in my heyday, dude, if I wasn't too busy chasing girls in high school and not doing homework, dude, if I actually tried, I could probably be somewhere.
Play for the Jacksonville
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
But that's why you got average Joes and fucking studs. That's what, you know what I mean? Because the studs do what they got to do. Jerry didn't do what he had to do, dude. Jerry didn't do what he had to do, man.
No, Jerry.
And now I'm just figuring out. Now I'm calling into ALAFM. Dude.
Hey, man.
That's right.
Yeah, look where you are now. You're at the top.
Yeah. Jerry, you settled in.
And I love it.
Absolutely. Let's go get some.
But now back to Derwin James, dude. Let's freaking go. Dude, I want to pair Harry with another freaking stud, dude. That's what I want to do.
Hey.
Honestly, I know we need O-line help. I'm cool with that Bryce dude. What's his name? Bryce Petty? What's his name?
Callahan.
From Ohio State. I see him being mocked. Like, what's that?
Billy
like,
Price,
I'm
baby.
cool.
Billy Price.
Yeah.
The price is right.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
kind of
so
nice.
I'm cool with that, dude. But I want Harry to be paired with another stud. Now, don't get me wrong. I really liked what Sendejo did last year.
I love Sendejo last
Really
year.
liked it.
I like that.
Honestly, I really liked it. But if we could have gone and got Honey Badger and paired with, like, not necessarily saying that Honey Badger was going to come in and take Sendejo's spot. I literally wanted to go get Honey Badger and run some crazy-ass nickel defense where the Honey Badger, you can interchange him with nickel and safety and blah, 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 and just go with that with our base. Like, boom. I wanted to do that, and I wanted Sendejo to be a part of it. But if we can go get this James dude and stick him in there and, like, let's roll, dude, let's go. Because if you have two safeties that when the offense comes up to the line of scrimmage and they're playing that chess game and the quarterback has no freaking idea what the two safeties are doing, let's freaking go.
All right. How are you going to go through that whole rant and not mention Ryan Quigley?
Dude,
the core of our team, and
Zero
you know that.
Touchbacks, dude. Zero touchbacks.
He's got
and I know
stats.
he's not listening, but
He's
there's a
got
guy out there
stats
named
on
Ryan
Quigley.
Bitch, Colts fan. I know he's not listening, but in the case he does, Quigley is a G.
All right.
Yeah.
At me, bro. At me, bro.
Got personal beef.
Stop it.
Great, man.
You stop it.
Look at that. You just stored all that up since the last time you
Well,
called.
yeah, what's up, Dad? What's up?
He hasn't called in for 2 months.
Not
How you
much,
guys
man.
been?
Yeah, we've been
He's
good.
cooped up, man.
Oh, God, yeah, dude, I've been cooped up. So there's a lot going on in Jerry's world, man. There's a lot going on in Jerry's world. Switch jobs, you know, so Wednesdays have been crazy for me. I got a baby boy coming on the way.
Congrats, baby!
Let's go.
Hey, well, you got
Let's
your own
go.
Derwin James.
Baby
You
boy
get 'em
coming
all.
on the
Okay.
way. So I mean, that's some big news in Jerry's world,
Let's
you know.
go.
And
Are you gonna name him?
yeah,
Are you gonna name him
just,
Derwin?
Just living life.
Do you got
living
a
life.
name? Do you got a
But,
name picked out? Do you
I
got a
gotta-
name?
I'm picking up my daughter right now, and I'm like 2 minutes late, and they're calling, so I'm gonna go. Right?
Wait a minute.
Dance class is calling me right now.
you
Gotta
got-
go. Jerry up.
Jerry up.
Love it, Jay. Oh, his name is Kid Derwin from White Bear Lake.
That'd be amazing. The only Derwin in White Bear Lake.
The only one, dude.
All right, bam, bam. Let's finish up these Twitter questions. Get out of here. Go eat some chicken because I'm excited. At Fairview Farms, is interior O-line depth enough in this year's draft to go BPA or on cornerback or D-line with the first pick? Question mark.
I never go BPA, man.
Is the depth good? You can get a great player in the second round. In fact, actually, second, third round is kind of the sweet spot for interior. So again, if a stud corner it falls in your lap, like Josh Jackson or Maurice Hurst, who was there, whatever. I know we got Sheldon, but I'm just saying you can't have enough of those guys. You need a good rotation. You could go BPA.
Is BPA a myth?
Yes.
I think it is. I really do.
I mean, no teams do it.
If you have a stud starting player like a left tackle, you're not going to draft one.
Caller, who we got?
Yeah, this is Zach from LA, and I was just wondering, you being Vikings fans, which player or players are you guys obsessing over this year that you want the Vikings to draft? Like for some reason, I want us to draft Mark Andrews. I don't know why, but I do. Last year it was Dalvin Cook. I remember years ago I was obsessing over Brody Croyle. I'm like, we got to draft
Brody.
Wow. He's going to be the quarterback of the future.
So
but,
I take it like
Mark,
it's not like a top 10 lock
sorry.
pick or a top 15 lock player. It's just a random guy that you're just like, I got to go get
a
this
random guy that you're just like, this is my guy.
Perhaps you
and
admitting
he's
that
gonna
you
be
were
so
in the
good.
tank
He
for
probably
Brody
won't be
Croyle,
good,
though. I
but
think
yeah.
it takes a big man to admit.
I like Taven Bryan. I think he's a freak. I think he's like a Paul Bunyan-esque. I like that his dad was a Navy SEAL. I think it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Taven Bryan is also in the Kareem Garcia name Hall of Fame, is he not? I was very surprised when I saw a picture of him.
That's actually
I was like, whoa, that's good.
Yeah, right.
That's actually true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, well, we just talked about
Yeah.
Derwin James a lot, and Derwin James, I think, would be outstanding to pair with Harrison Smith. But if you want a random, not like a top 15 or a first-round guy, Harrison Phillips, I just really like him. 27 tackles for loss, and Arif, you know what? I mean, he's not like super athletic. But that's okay. You can still win at the defensive line without being athletic. That's my guy.
A white defensive tackle who has the greatest game in Stanford isn't athletic.
Anybody from Stanford isn't athletic? Oh, Toby Gerhardt. Sorry. Not.
They had Barry Sanders Jr. for a cup of coffee.
Hey, Gerhardt tested really well.
Who did?
Gerhardt.
Yeah.
Oh,
in biology.
Snap.
I don't know. I just like Isaiah Wynn, man. I can't get over it. I think he looks amazing.
Isaiah Wynn is fantastic.
He's so good. He doesn't like
almost disgusting.
He is now getting a lot more discussion as like a top 20 pick, but initially, when I first saw him, people were talking about him as like a second rounder.
Yeah. Right.
I was like surprised. I
Killed that Senior Bowl, man.
He did.
Nobody's
He
ever looked back
absolutely
since. But who's your not top 15 or first round guy? Who's your just rando that you got to get?
Oh, it's supposed to be DJ Moore, but now he's a first round pick. He was a fourth round pick like 2 months ago. Man, I don't know. Just I haven't been watching as many college players as everybody else has. So, I get onto guys right as they're on the upswing, and then they end up in the first round. I guess Anthony Miller. I like him a lot. I think he's really good.
You do love Anthony Miller.
Yeah.
You took him top 10 last week.
Yeah, that was
to
too
the
much.
Bears.
That was a bit much.
You took
But-
Anthony Miller eighth overall, dude.
Yeah, right.
That's your guy you're
Do
obsessed with.
Do you guys think second tight end is a viable thing in the second or third round, or is it just that?
Oh, for sure. We just actually had a question about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Gesicki was probably the one that we were.
No, that was the one you mentioned.
I think you could get. Hey, I think
you don't think he's going to be there. in the
Yinka
second?
speaks for us all.
If Mark,
all of us.
if
As
Mark
the guy
Andrews
who came in late.
if Mark Andrews is
we
your
had
guy,
no voice.
I know.
Yeah, if Mark Andrews is your guy, he could be there at 60.
Yeah, I could see that.
He could be at 60. And all you want is a chance, right? You just want an opportunity. Sit there at 60 and know he's on the board and that they could take him.
I just think we need to go less athletic with our second tight end. We've been going too athletic this year, so I think we maybe Kyle Rudolph's twin brother, maybe Goddard. I don't know whoever.
Let's just get a lump of mashed potatoes and put him in an 80s number.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews caught a lot of balls, so I thought, that's a guy.
Let's sign Delman Young from the outfield.
Yeah, that's who you want.
That's the guy at
He
tight
will
end.
porky pig
Unathletic.
during the game.
Yep. That's my guy. Yep.
But now
Set
wear
him
pants.
Speaking
Did you know this? He was in an elevator not wearing pants. Last time anyone heard of him. Sorry, go on.
Speaking of athletic tight
No,
ends,
sorry. I was making some random point that the Grand Forks Airport used to be called Mark Andrews Airport, by the way. But
yeah.
Random.
The former senator of North Dakota. Yeah. And a quick question for Reef: were you a South guy, a Schrader guy, or Valley?
Oh Jesus. I went to because I think Valley had shut down because of the flood.
Okay.
So yeah. So I ended up going to South.
Wait, what is this, Libya? A school shut down because it flooded?
Yeah. But
yeah, I did too.
I went over to Schrader for like a summer program. I hated it, man. I'm glad I never went there.
Yeah, it was all the rich kids over there. So yeah, they were bad. But, yeah.
Hey, Zach, appreciate you calling in.
I was just a quick aside because I knew you were from Grand Forks, so that's why I was just wondering where you went. But.
No, South had just like rebuilt behind a Target or something like that, so it was like a completely new building. Yeah, no one was in it. Yeah,
it actually is south. Before it used to be in the middle of the town.
Yeah,
but now it is actually south of the town. But yeah, it was in the middle. It was south was in like the farthest north school in the city, so it was a very weird thing. But you know,
classic Grand Forks.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Zach.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Yeah, have a good one.
We were talking about athletic tight ends, and do you guys know that Jason Witten is signed until 2022?
What?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Witten.
Isn't he 35 right now?
He's signed until 2022.
Well, none of it's guaranteed, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up these Twitter questions.
There's one more caller, and then we'll close. Sorry.
Caller,
I hate
who we got?
people. Sorry, who is this?
You did that with your mind.
Thought this was a suicide hotline. Jesus, nobody wants me.
Oh, wow. I am so
I hate
excited.
people.
How did that happen?
David Putney, 25. If Sheldon Richardson has a Geno Atkins-like dominance in Zimmer's scheme, do we prioritize re-signing him over Kendricks, Bar, Hunter, Diggs?
If he ends up being Geno Atkins, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course you do.
Was it Hard Knocks where Geno Atkins, Jermaine Gresham, got him in one-on-ones because he cheated?
That was so dumb.
It was funny.
I mean, yeah, it was super hilarious. It was dumb of Gresham, I mean.
At Doormat 26, set some odds for who wins wide receiver 3 between Quan, Coley, Jones, X, late round draft pick.
I think Treadwell by default, unless they add somebody. I don't see anybody leapfrogging him to the 3. But
I think he's got the best odds, but I'm going to bet on Coley.
I'm going to go with Caleb Jones.
Yeah.
Wow, what a sad question.
Ugh,
I'm not excited about Treadwell.
What's Mobo up to? He's working at CrossFit Stuttgart.
He should really join that spring football thing.
They don't
he should.
He didn't make the cut. At Library Ben, what do you all think of the linebacker depth? Something worth addressing in the draft? With Lemur gone now, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's something they address every draft. I don't think
every year.
Yeah.
Gone a draft without grabbing a linebacker in the middle or late
Audie
rounds.
Cole, Edmund Robinson.
I thought about
there's tons of them.
Yeah.
So
I Gideon and Brothers.
I was really leaning towards a guy like Lorenzo Carter, for the Vikings and stuff, just because, it's fine if you want a project or whatever the case is. And a lot of people keep saying that there's no way you can move on from, Eric Kendricks. I think you can move on from Eric Kendricks because, again, he's 6 foot tall. Yes, he plays really, really well, but I think he does benefit from the play of Linval Joseph a lot. So, I mean, Lorenzo Carter, I don't think he's more of a Anthony Barr replacement. I think he's a potential Eric Kendricks replacement. So, you really have 2 studs at linebacker who have really decent size that you can actually match up against these athletic tight ends that we keep getting burned from.
Fan of the show, Alex Gobelak Noble. Is there a skill position player in the draft that's likely to be taken in the first 4 rounds that would particularly benefit Cousins and his style of play?
Does his style of play stand out as something that seems all that distinctive that you want a receiver prototype?
He had a chemistry with Crowder. Seemed to develop pretty quickly.
And Ryan Grant, actually. Yeah. So 2 inside guys, I guess, smaller inside guys, just
quicker than
quick
fast.
Weapons, quicker than fast, gritty.
So what? Christian Kirk, then?
Very gritty.
I guess
Christian
Pettis.
Kirk. Yeah, Pettis maybe. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. Pettis.
Yeah.
Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller. I wasn't gonna say it.
We were thinking.
You were gonna say it.
We all knew you were thinking it, dude.
I hear all that, but Luke Falk in the 3rd round. At the real Gabby, when looking at how good last year's D was, how much of a factor was Quigley's punting, putting them in great spots? Will his regression have any effect on that?
I think it canceled out. So it got mentioned that he had no touchbacks, but also his punting was his directional punting was phenomenal, but he also didn't get distance when the Vikings were backed up in like their own end zone or at their own 5 or whatever. And so his ability to punt further down the field and boom it was restricted. And so I think a lot of it canceled out. It was net positive, but I think that a lot of what Quigley provided was on relatively shorter condensed fields anyway. So it saves 15 yards when the Vikings are further upfield, but it sacrifices, 10. So it helped, but I'm not going to say it helped like in a ton.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, the field position game probably doesn't get enough talk or glory for good or bad, but I'm with you. I think Quigley and those 0 touchbacks, that helped a lot. You got one more?
Yeah, it's not the person you insulted.
I won't say anything.
Yeah.
He did call back, and I missed it.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, Tom.
You call her, who we got?
I'll wear that one.
You got AJ from Lincoln.
Hey, AJ, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, I want to know what is each of your guys' most overrated band of the 90s?
Oh, that's
Sublime.
so tough.
Wow, Sublime's a great pick.
Yeah, that is
That's
a good pick.
fantastic.
Green Day.
What?
Wow, really?
I don't know.
I
I
kind
kinda like Green
That's
Day.
bad. No, you just said a band. Wow, I can't beat Sublime. That's
I'm mainly annoyed by Sublime. Like, respect the work that they did. I think the early death factor definitely hypes them up a little bit. But also, if you're on like Pandora or Spotify or Amazon
and
Music,
you hear one of their not hits.
yeah, or no,
Oh, yeah, good call,
any
good
genre
call.
you pick,
Yeah.
you could be like '90s rock band. The third song would be "and it's the wrong way." You could pick Bach. You could pick Johann Sebastian Bach. 3 songs in, it'll be like, "and it's the wrong way." They always pop up. I don't know. The algorithm loves Sublime.
Non-hit is such a good call though, because
Yeah, right.
like it's
Their
a huge
non-hits are
drop.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. That's a great. I'm gonna go with Sublime. I would have gone with Cake, but actually their albums are pretty tight. I like them. Yeah, but yeah, Sublime, great.
Destiny's Child when they had all 4 members.
I forgot they had
How
4.
could they be overrated if no one remembers the 4th member?
You get just likes that fact.
You just wanted to bring that up. They were not over. No one knew who they were. They couldn't have possibly been overrated.
Yeah, everyone knew who Destiny's Child was. They just
They
didn't
had
know.
4 members.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Luke, do you have a better, different pick?
How about Nirvana? Just because of I like Kurt Cobain by himself, but I think maybe the death gave them a little bit more. I don't know, recognition.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, their drummer sucked.
No, he actually ended
Foo
up being
Fighters
good.
is
That's the
not
guy
a-
from Foo Fighters, Andy.
Yeah, Foo Fighters not a bad pick for overrated, but I still like them.
Yeah, I like Foo Fighters.
Now, what's
It's
your
so-
pick?
it's
You've
so
thought about
hard.
this, right? What's your pick?
Limp Bizkit, I just think they're terrible and
How can they be overrated? I agree that they're. Who
Yeah, I
likes
mean
them?
he's right.
No, they're awful.
I think
yeah.
they're terrible, but like I will still listen to them.
All right. Well,
Not
now that we know
ironically.
one person's going to listen to them, I think you're right. They are overrated.
Hey, appreciate you calling.
Okay, well, thanks, guys.
That's it.
Tom, who was yours? I didn't hear yours, Tom.
I literally cannot beat Sublime.
That's so good.
It's so good. I literally my first thought was like who's really overrated here?
Yeah.
All right, 2 more, then we're hitting it. At John Fahey III, picture this. It's April 26th, round 1 night. Draft is in full swing. The Ravens are going to pick at 16 when you see the ticker change to trade. Vikings trade up to 16. In the minute before you find out for sure, who do you hope it's for?
Quentin Nelson. Come on.
Yeah, it has to be Quentin Nelson. I mean,
They trade up like 10. Like
yeah.
that's.
I mean, obviously you've
13
already
spots.
made your decisions as far as your quarterback position. I mean, to a generational talent like Quentin Nelson, I mean, you have to if he's there at 16.
I could see them giving up the whole draft.
Yeah, for him.
Right?
I don't know. He's only Larry Allen.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah. I
it,
love
dude.
that was Lance Zierlein's comp. That's the only time I've seen Lance Zierlein on NFL.com comp a player to a Hall of Fame player. Not just a Hall of Fame guy.
Right.
The best in the history of his
Ever.
position. Like, that's hilarious.
Have you seen him chasing down like it was a pick six or a fumble, and him having to chase down somebody on the sideline?
Yeah,
like
he's
a cornerback.
Yeah, he's chasing
and he
down
did it.
like this 180-pound cornerback. He's like 320, right?
Like it
He's
takes him a while to get to third gear, but when he gets to third gear, he's just cruising.
I'd like to see him and Sheldon Richardson race.
right? Sheldon on that Jets play.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He's the only one close to Jerry's right.
And then he sits in the end zone just while the 60,000 people are celebrating, just like,
it's so
Gladiator!
This soccer stadium sucks. Alec D. Perminsky. Best candidate for a significant uptick in stats with Cousins on center, Diggs, Thielen, Rudolph, Dalvin Cook, or someone off the board.
People keep on saying that Cousins loves his tight ends. I think that's a product of how poor his receivers were last year and how good his tight ends are. But,
the Quan.
Yeah, right, so a tight end, so Laquan. No, I think we'll see a small uptick for Kyle Rudolph's statistics, especially because he still hasn't been used a ton outside of the 20s. And so I think that Cousins would be happy to target him a little bit more often.
All right, now this is just kind of throwing shade, but this is what we do. So Laquan Treadwell has 215 career receiving yards. Does he top 400 this year?
Does that include college?
He's a short yard specialist, Reef. Does he top or over under 400 yards receiving for Laquan Treadwell this year?
Over for successful Quan. That's what he is.
I'll say over barely and by default again because there's just nobody else on that third option right now.
The thing that gets me is that there were a ton of opportunities for him to get on the field. And early on, especially, they just didn't give him those opportunities, even though they've given fifth-round picks and undrafted free agents those opportunities in previous situations. Like when Diggs was down,
right?
Like, why didn't we see a bunch of Laquan yards? So I don't see it. I think I'm not going to say they've given up on him or anything like that.
They've given up on him.
I'm not going to be the one to say it.
He's got the shovel.
But I don't think they're super confident in him, and I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Caleb Jones or a late-round pick or Stacey Coley or a third-wave free agent, whoever it is, a better shot than him.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if they really have given up on him and they just let Jarius go, then you got to think drafting a receiver early
They did make
is an
Jarius
option.
offer. They did make Jarius an offer.
It's an option.
They wanted definitely wanted them back, understandably, but
O.C. Umenyiora?
Yeah, but
O.C. Umenyiora. Yeah, they wanted him back in England.
Exactly.
So, that comes into play. I talk about maybe a corner sitting there or whatever, but maybe if there's a James Washington or Anthony Miller, somebody, I guess maybe you shouldn't be that surprised.
Do you like Anthony Miller?
Took him 8th overall, dude, in the mock draft.
8th, top 10.
That was a bit rough.
Wow.
I just
Anthony Miller.
I just don't like
Receiver
Calvin
one,
Ridley all that
dude.
much.
Yeah, I
just
don't
don't
either.
like
He's got mock
Calvin
draft
Ridley.
Tourette's. I love it.
He's like older than all of us in this room.
Right?
I say
I'm going to talk to Calvin Ridley what it was like to install Windows 3.1 and compare notes.
Did he do it on this computer?
I say
what version of solitaire you want, man?
I think Treadwell has
got 'em all.
over 400 yards receiving for the Ravens.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can see that.
He's part of the trade up to 16.
Yeah, he's gonna replace Torrey Smith.
Yeah. What's years in the making? What's what are you guys working on this week?
A couple more draft pods, and then again starting those draft profile videos. You're going to check out on ZoneCoverage.com very soon.
Gonna break down Kirk Cousins. I heard that the Vikings are gonna start him. I don't know.
Whoa,
Is that
yet
right?
to be determined. Dude.
Yeah,
He's
they
got to
have
beat out
Simeon,
Simeon.
Simeon was here first. He
Gotta
was
win the
promised the job.
competition.
Yinka, what about you?
Yeah, I've climbing the pocket. We're recording tomorrow. Probably going to just go some more in depth with some of the things that the Vikings might need to do to continue to improve. Maybe some draft crushes and whatnot. So, yeah.
Ooh wee. Listen to hour one. We had the first half of the mock. Makes a lot more sense before listen to hour two. Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iRadio, ZoneCoverage.com/machine. But for Luke, Arif, for Yinka, for Tom, I'm Andy. And next out, bro. See you next week.
Follow all of us on Twitter. I'm at Andy Carlson Show. Luke is at Luke_Spinman. Arif at Arif Hassan NFL. The theme song for the show is Let It Burn by Cold Kingdom. For more info and show dates, visit coldkingdom.com and follow them on Twitter at Cold Kingdom Band. Get all of the Andy, Luke, and Arif Football Machine shows on iTunes, on Stitcher, and, of course, at coldomaha.com/football machine. It'll cure what ails you. Just do it. Do it now.
The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.